Another blood-red sunset and yet another moon face, and still another 100 miles to my next resting place. Driving down the road, eyes on the horizon. Within my car, I'm all alone, but feeling good and feeling strong, knowing that this path I'm on brings me to myself. I'm driving.
Hey y'all, I'm Jules. Welcome back to another episode of Spirit Sherpa, the show that helps and encourages you on your journey to unlock your magic mojo. With me, as always, is a spirit doctor, Kelly Sparta. Hey Kelly, what's up?
Hey Joel. So in case you guys were wondering, we have a winner. We have a winner, chicken dinner. Ding,
Chicken
ding,
dinner, ding, 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 ding.
Joel will be our new co-host for the Spirit Sherpa podcast. So I am super excited to say that because we just have a freak ton of fun together. So we're going to be doing sound healing today, but I feel like we need to talk about something beforehand. I just wish I knew what it was.
Okay, I'm good, but my psychic abilities have not crossed over into the mind reading portion.
On.
But I know, right?
Come on.
Well, I'm trying. Okay, let me use my intuitiveness.
Yes.
Is there something going on with world events? Is there something going on with, do you have any more trees in your backyard? We
No
haven't
more
talked
trees
about
in
the
back-
trees.
Oh, you know what? That's a good thing though, because not the backyard, but the trip to Panama, right? So we are moving to Panama, not Spain. And
Okay.
yes. So I started doing some math on Spain, and it was going to take like 18 to 24 hours of travel to get back from where we wanted to be in Spain to the US. And if we're going to be doing retreats and stuff like that, it was not practical. I was like, I do not want to be traveling for 2 freaking days to get wherever I'm going, because I'm not doing 18 to 24 hours in one 24-hour period. That's not going to happen. And so I was like, this is not practical. And on top of it, there was the fact that we would be 5 or 6 hours ahead on a regular basis. And I don't like to work in the evenings. And so that would have really messed up my I don't like to work in the evening schedule, right? So we decided that Panama was the better part of valor. And we have shifted our intentions to Panama, which is on the same time zone as Central Time Zone. And it takes all of like 2.5 hours to get to Miami, and, all sorts of good things about it. And the taxes are better. The immigration is better. There's all kinds of things that are better, right? Although it is still not as developed as Spain would have been. So it's definitely not living in a first world country, but that's part of the adventure, right?
Absolutely.
So it was funny because I was having a conversation. I don't remember who. I think I was having the conversation with the Mastering Spiritual Evolution group, and I was talking about a spiritual journey and what a spiritual journey is about and what Walkabout is about. And I said, well, when you do this, you get rid of everything you own. And I just went, because we're having an estate sale. In fact, in about an hour, I'm going to be hearing from an estate salesperson. And because we're selling everything we own, right? We're just getting rid of it all. And I was like, oh, crap.
You're going on Walkabout Part 2.
Yes. With my husband and my dog.
With your husband and a dog.
Yes. So, this is going to be entertaining. So talk about spiritual journeys, right?
Oh, my goodness. So see, the first time was by yourself. Now you're bringing it's the family. So it's a family affair Walkabout. And you're not going to be in Kansas anymore.
Hopefully makes it a little less intense. I'll let you know as we go through.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. But, we're doing all the things, right? I've been reaching out to realtors. I've been reaching out to attorneys. I've been reaching out to mail forwarding services and blah, 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 blah. Right. And we're doing all kinds of work on, I signed up for Duolingo yesterday because I used to be fluent in Spanish 30 years ago. And so, I need to remember my Spanish. And so I've been committing to at least half an hour a day of working on the Duolingo to get my Spanish back up to speed again. And it's a lot, it's super exciting. And so, one of the things that I don't talk a lot about on this show is we sort of talk around it, but we don't actually talk at it. The whole spiritual awakening thing. I think I did one episode about it, and the rest of it's just been, this is what you need to know. Right? So I think, I'm going to start a spiritual awakening series on the podcast as well. And in an effort to address things that are specific to people who are just stepping into magic. And so I got a email just today from, I got a 444 on my phone as I went to look at the email. But I got an email just today saying that somebody had picked up a copy of a chaos magic book that I had recommended, and she did something and something came up and blew up in her face. And she's like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, okay, how about we have you on the podcast and we'll talk you through it. And this is sort of the thing. So if you're out there and you're listening and you're having a spiritual awakening and you're going, what the fuck do I do? I'm seeing things, I'm hearing things, shit is happening to me, and I don't know what to do. Please help me. This is when you can reach out. Just email me, Kelly@kellysparta.com. Let me know that's going on. I will be starting to run a series of these where we walk people through questions like this on air. And we talk about it. If you don't want to include your last name, that's fine. If you don't want to include your first name, that's fine. We don't have to. But I would like to be able to talk to you in person on the air in order for me to walk you through it. I do answer questions as well, obviously. And you can also just come on to Spirit Sherpa podcast, the Facebook group, and ask questions in there as well. We do that as well. So all sorts of ways to get in touch if you're going, crap, and you need a little help. Yes. So with that said, today we're going to be doing the aligning with your power. And we're going to do a sound healing for that. But let's talk about what that means for a minute. When you step into your power, and I'm saying this because this sound healing is going to be hardcore. Okay, so I want you to be aware. We are standing. My husband and I are standing in a very liminal space right now, where we're in transition and things are shifting, and we're stepping into the new versions of ourselves and all of this. So if I'm doing a sound healing from this place, and I already carry the energy of change with me, that is my nature. This shit is going to be real. So let me start with saying, if you are not serious about stepping into your power, you should not listen to this sound healing, because it may drag you kicking and screaming. So I'm just saying, be very careful. You guys are far enough along in this podcast at this point, and I'm presuming that you started at the beginning. And if you didn't, if you're only in a couple of episodes, you need to go back to the beginning and start at the beginning if you're new. But I'm presuming by now that you have enough of a foundation that I can do more significant work on the podcast with you. So, and we're almost closing out this 4th year of the podcast now. So we're 4 years in as of midsummer. And so this is the moment. Right? We are standing. So see, Jules, you asked me about Beltane, because this time last year we were doing Beltane. She reminded me, she's being a good Joey, right? And She reminded me that it's Beltane. Well, Beltane is spring. It's the time when we call things into being. And so we are doing that in this sound healing. And there is, don't ask me the details of this, but if you go look it up, you'll figure it out. There are some conjunctions happening astrologically with the moon that are supposed to be major manifestation things as well. So big shit coming down. This is the thing, right? So with that, we are recording this on the 26th of April, which is just before that full moon. And I believe it's a full moon eclipse coming up. It's a blue moon, full moon eclipse with multiple things in the same sign, sun, moon, and something else in the same sign. New moon. Oh, my bad. Okay. New moon eclipse. Even better because it's a new moon for Beltane, which is a new start, right? A spring. So everything is budding up and starting, right? So yeah, you can tell I don't do the astrology thing. So
That's okay because it's all tying into aligning. Everything is about alignment and the perfect time.
Yeah. So even if you're listening to this at a time that is not this time, because I mean, this episode will air a week and a half from now. And so, it will be past this eclipse by the time you get this episode. However, the energy of that connection is going to be in the recording. So it doesn't matter when you're listening to this, the energy will be there. And so when I say be prepared to step into your power, I freaking mean it. Okay. Shit is aligned. The energies are here. I am in a massive liminal state. And this is going to be big.
Coming from a transformational shaman. So that's kind of a buckle up, bitches.
Yeah, that's buckle up, Buttercup. Yes. Buckle up, Buttercup, because shit's going to go. Yes. Okay. So with that said, I'm going to remind you that this is a sound healing. And that means that you should not be driving or doing anything that requires your attention because you may not have any to give, because sometimes people travel with these. They often will say, wow, I went someplace else. I don't know where I was, but I was not in my room. Like, yes, this is why we don't do this while we're driving. So if you're driving, turn it off now. Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off now. Come back later when you're not driving. Okay, this is your warning. Okay. Yes. Are you gone now? Nope. Gotta go. Right. Okay, good. Don't think you can listen and not participate. You can't. So here we go. All right. Find yourself in a comfortable position. Close your eyes. You do not have to do anything. You just have to be and allow the energy to wash over you and try not to think. Okay. Just relax and just be with the sound. Don't worry about what it means or how it's working. Or you can, if you're somebody who has to analyze everything you experience, just remind yourself that you need to have the experience before you can analyze it. Don't try and analyze it while you're having it. Otherwise, you're missing out on half of it. All right, here we go. 哎呦，好，越级吧，加我的，越级吧，加我的，还有我这呀，我那个我这也是呀，我那呀，哦呀呀呀，我。哎呀呀呀呀！哦，加油！就好就好，哇哈哈哈！哎呦呦，哎呦呦，哈哈哈哈！哎呦呦，哎呀哎呀哎呀！哇！啊！哈哈哈哈哈哈哈哈！哇！哇！哈哈哈哈哈！哈！啊！谢谢哇！谢谢。 或也天天去下念过，哇谢继续下念我家家为我的应啊，好多有啊呀好 no 好一点哇这我这个呀我也我也去吧，去吧，哎呀，呵。Okay. And take a deep breath.
Kelly, you did it again. So, no, it was a good thing. So, can I make an observation that I know we're in podcast land and not everyone can see you doing this, but I just realized something after hearing you do these on the podcast before, right? I thought you were like using like a long trumpety thingy like you see in the commercials or something, like you're blowing into something. Yeah, Ricola. You're doing that entire thing just with your mouth and your vocal cords and
Yep.
Wow.
Just my voice.
Oh, I had no idea. Wow. That's some power. So I have a question. Is there one particular chakra that is related to our internal power or like all that? Is it the one around like my tummy area?
Your solar plexus? Yes.
Yeah, that one. You know, I still get them mixed up.
I do. That's okay.
Okay. So I'm just going to I don't know who all's going to feel what, but I thought it might be helpful if it's okay that I kind of share just a little bit, if that would be okay. So my crown chakra, and it gets bigger literally every time you do, I hear a sound healing from you. It's like the camera lens gets bigger. Okay. Right. So this one, like, it was like I was wearing like a headband around my head. That's how big it was. The entire thing was vibrating. I mean, I know y'all can't see me, but my hair is like spiky anyway. So, right. Think Pat Benatar, right? So the whole thing was vibrating and hot. Okay. Now, here's what happened. My solar plexus, dude, that sucker heated up. Mm-hmm. And it started moving like a oval front to back kind of like little circle. And it's like the energy was moving. And then I swear to you, it traveled up and like hit my chest. And I don't know when I did this, but it's like I was sitting up with my chest poked out a little bit more because I'm like just sitting comfortably in my chair. And when I opened my eyes, I was actually sitting forward with my chest out, which is kind of crazy. I don't know when I did that, but wow, that was pretty insane.
I did give warning.
Yes, you did. I thank you for that. That was awesome.
Yeah. So there was a massive amount of energy flowing through on this one. Just huge. So yeah, when you guys listen to this and in the next few days, let me know what changes for you. Let me know how it hits you and, what happened to you. Tell us the story of what happened to you, because not everybody's going to have the same experience that Jules had. So, let's see, see what happens, shall we? And you can share that either by emailing me at Kelly Sparta, or you can put it in the Facebook group for the Spirit Sherpa podcast Facebook group. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys' experience of it is. It's very funny because when when I told Jules that she was going to be the co-host, she said some stuff. She was like, "Oh my God, you make such an impact on people." And I was like, "Well, yeah, I get a few emails here and there from people, but most of the time I'm just talking into the ethers, right? I'm just sitting in my house, sitting in front of my computer, talking to Jules now or Joey before, and we're just having a conversation, and it just goes out over the airways and disappears. From my perspective, I don't really see the impact of what happens unless people write into me and tell me what's going on, right? You prompted me to do a little bit of math. One of the podcast players has the ability to compare to see how many episodes that have been downloaded by how many subscribers. And then you can figure out the average number of episodes that a subscriber listens to, right? And so the average subscriber on that platform listens to 20 episodes. And so because we don't have any way of knowing who's downloading what, right? There's no way for us to know that. All we see is gross numbers, how many downloads, right? We've had, I think it's like 187,000 downloads in the last 4 years. And so I did the math. If you average that, it's 20 episodes a person, then that's just over 9,000 people. And so I'm like, cool, that's more than I thought it was. But, doing 3 episodes a week now, there's a lot that goes into creating that. And so, any feedback you guys want to give me, I would love to have it. It's all encouragement to get me to keep going. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing more on awakening. I'm going to be doing more on magic. I'm going to be doing more on, we'll have more sound healings. We'll have, you know me, I just do a whole plethora of stuff, because that way, if you don't like one thing, you'll like something else, right?
Exactly. There's a variety.
Right. And thus far, no one said, "Oh my God, I hate this series," right? So that's been a bonus. So I did get somebody asking if I was going to finish the 7 Deadly Sins series, and we actually have finished it. We just are meeting it out over time. So it is going to be finished. We just, much like with all of our other series, we put it out over time so that if you don't like it, you don't have to stop listening to the podcast for 6 weeks in a row or 7 weeks in a row, right? So that's why we split them up. And that keeps you coming back too. Yay!
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So.
And I think that the timing of you doing the Awakening series, especially on the backside of COVID, as you've spoken before, on different episodes, that COVID has been such a transformational time and has awoken so many people. I think, timing is everything. And it's just, I think it's a perfect time to do that. So I know all of our listeners are going to be very interested and excited to hear you talk about that.
Well, that's good, because you're going to have to ask me some questions. This is the purpose of the co-host on the show, is to tell me what the hell to talk about. Yeah. I could talk for days and probably never hit on the thing that you wanted to know about. So, you just gotta tell me what you want to hear. And that's the other benefit of writing in, is that you get to hear what you want to hear, because that's what I do. I just answered a listener's question on the minis that I recorded yesterday. So, all of that stuff happens. So, yeah.
That's going to be way fun. And just for listeners know, I'm a beginner, as in I'm a student of Kelly's. So a lot of the questions that y'all have, I have too, but my one brain would be much better if we had a community of brains, because I can't think of everything. So I would love to hear the stories and suggestions and, what y'all think about and what you want to learn about also, because I think it makes for a very interesting and educational banter, back and forth. And really the listeners here, even though, Kelly, you mentioned that, we don't always get the feedback as far as who we're affecting. We do know that you're worldwide. We do know that you have lots of listeners. And
I'm ranking in Slovenia. I'm not even sure where Slovenia is. It's somewhere in Europe, but
it's across the pond.
It's across the pond in a big way, yes. But hi, Slovenia. Thank you for being so excited about the podcast that I've been ranking in like the top 100 podcasts in Slovenia in spirituality. And in Egypt as well. Egypt, hello. I've been
Egypt?
writing in Egypt as well. Yeah. And occasionally in the Netherlands. So, yeah.
I'm going to say, even I know I'm your co-host, but I'm going to say as a listener also, how about every so often you kind of report, hey, say hello to the different people all over the world and all that. Because what I'm kind of curious is if listeners here, because I'm in Louisiana, right, in the U.S., I'm kind of wondering, would I have different questions? Do they have different perspectives? Different cultures may lead to different topics and all that. So I'm thinking, and I'm putting this in my Louisiana terminology, baby, we're going to make one big old gumbo and jambalaya, and we're going to have a good old time. So
I don't think anybody knew you were from New Orleans, really.
Yeah, you can't hear it. You cannot hear it in my little old country accent. Not at all.
Especially not we're not doing hey now all anymore. We're doing hey y'all.
Yeah, hey y'all. I was like, I told Kelly, I said, I cannot say hey now. No, that's blasphemy when you're from the South. It's got to be hey y'all. So
there you go. Hey y'all, it is.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Well, anything else you want to talk about in this episode? You want to end with a Kellyism?
Ooh, a Kellyism. Well, yeah. So stepping into your power it has multiple ramifications, and it will have a cascade effect on your life. So buckle up, Buttercup. There's your Kellyism for the day.
There you go. So everyone, we're going to buckle up. All right, folks, that is all we have for this week. Tune in next time when Kelly adds another chapter to your guide to energy, magic, and the spirit world. I'm Jules, here with Kelly Sparta, and you have been listening to Spirit Sherpa. So long, everyone.
Bye.
Driving down the road, eyes on the horizon. Within my car, I'm all alone, but feeling good and feeling strong, knowing that this path I'm on brings me to myself. I'm driving